Hey everybody, Tom here with Hidden Beats, and today we are talking with Maggie Andrew. How are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely amazing. I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you. It's when your name came across my desk, I was interested to get to know a little bit more about you and kind of learn just what makes you tick, really.
What makes me tick? I love that.
So for those who are new, can you give a little intro about yourself and your music and kind of what you do?
Yeah, my name is Maggie Andrew. I'm a singer-songwriter from Halifax, Nova Scotia. I was based in LA for a little while, about 3 years, and that's kind of where I got my footing in the music industry. And then COVID brought me home. I've been making music kind of my whole life, but for real started in 2019 and released some stuff. Started with, it's always been a little bit of a pop vibe, but I love just pulling from different genres and just mixing whatever I'm feeling because I just find my music is more of a feeling rather than a genre. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's definitely alternative pop is what I like to call it, just because I give it the alternative name because it's not completely top 40 radio vibes.
Hmm. What got you into music? Like early age, were your parents musical?
No, I didn't really grow up in a musical family, but I do have an older brother who is a musician as well. He's like my bonus brother. He came from my dad's first marriage. So I found out about him. He's way older than me. I was like 5 and I met him for the first time. And my brain just like exploded because he had just done all these cool things. He's like a pro snowboarder, skateboarder, designer. And then he's like on tour in Japan. And I was like, oh my God, I want to do that. That seems so cool.
Hmm.
So that was kind of where it was like, oh, I see. I have like a human in my life who's doing this and it looks really cool. He gave me my first CD when I was 5 and it was a Ramon CD, I remember. And
Okay.
I just remember it. Yeah, I just remember like that. And I always loved music growing up, of course, as any little girl does, and kind of just had a dream of being a pop star, I guess.
Hmm.
And yeah, so it kind of just is in my blood, I guess. But really started writing songs when I was 12 and I got a guitar, and that was when I actually started experimenting with music and I
Kind of
liked
went,
it.
yeah, went with it from there, kind of thing.
Yep.
So one of the main reasons we're here today is to talk about your new release of Better Than You. Can you give us
Yes.
some insight about that one?
Yeah, that song is so fun. I wrote it with Carlton Stone and Willie Stratton at a song camp. And the night before, we were kind of partying and I was screaming. I lost my voice. And then we had to write it the next day. I was like, oh no, I can't sing. So I was like, hey guys, I can still kind of like yell. Let's try and make something kind of aggressive and just fun. Like you can jump around, sing, and it's not too deep and like in your feelings, kind of make you cry. So we just kind of started with this like the I'm a 10, you're a 2 line came really early to us. And we just kept writing with that. And it got really fun. Like it's one of my favorite songs I've ever written. Definitely kind of like an anthem to an ex-boyfriend who was just kind of like a douchebag and not a good human. And how even though I myself as a human being, obviously I have my own problems and everything, but I just feel like I'm so much better than that situation, better than him. And I just wanted to make something fun out of a horrible time.
Hmm. No, I was listening to it before the interview, and it is a fun song. It
Yeah.
has a good vibe to it for sure.
Yeah, it's super bouncy. Just and I also, I mean, writing with William Carlton, it gave me a chance to experiment more with a different part of my voice, I guess, more of like a rock punky feel rather than just like a sweet soft singing thing. So it was cool, and that experience really opened me up to this other part of my artistry, which is really cool.
Hmm. Now, how do you think your music's evolved from back in like a 2019 to now?
I think it's definitely been like a self growth type of thing, and I had to really find who I was and moving around from lots of places. In 2019, I was in LA and, I had an amazing group of humans and that's who I was around out there. And then when I moved back to Nova Scotia, I kind of had to find a footing here and find a group where I could collaborate and it took a little while for me to kind of find my sound since moving back home and you can't replicate anything. So it was just like finding a vibe with people who I felt like I could really create something special with. And the sound, I feel like the sound is always kind of changing, but it just keeps the element of definitely like pettiness and saltiness is a common theme in my music, but definitely just finding people that I can feel comfortable with and open up with and get vulnerable and just say the things that I want to say and find the music that fits it.
Hmm.
But it's just been going up ever since 2019, and 2023, it feels really good.
Yeah, for sure. Has your process when you're actually making a track or putting together a song changed also?
Um, I think that always changes for me. It depends on who I'm in the room with and kind of whatever the energy is in there. I can adapt to whatever's going on. Usually, I mean, I'm used to just making something from the ground up every time I go in the studio, writing the whole song with whoever I'm writing with and working on that. So definitely here, since I moved home and I had a couple sessions, it took a minute to kind of find a groove of what felt good and what felt right for me and what would pull the best music out of me. So lately, yeah, it's definitely changed a little bit, just pace wise and lyrically. I find my lyrics are a lot better. Storytelling is really big in Nova Scotia, so I've found being around people who are really good at that, it's helped me get good at pulling out what I want to talk about and making sense of it, not just like throwing words out there and being like, whatever, this is a song and it's done. But yeah, usually it's just me, a producer, and sometimes a co-writer, and we'll just get in and we'll just start talking and vibe it out and see what comes of it. I'm never going in with crazy expectations or anything. We just see what can happen.
Hmm, for sure.
Mm.
One thing I find that a lot of people want to know too is what kind of hardships have you had to overcome in music, and and especially probably good advice for artists or something that they can look at.
Yeah, hardships. Oh my gosh, there's so many. Literally, music industry is just, I find being an artist, it's like you're rock bottom and then you're like hitting a climax and then you hit a plateau sometimes and then you hit something good and you get a good stride. It's always going up and down, and it's really easy to feel like you want to give up because I personally, I always feel like I'm not doing enough, or like I could have done something better, and it's really hard to just embrace the moments where you've had success and sit in that because you never want it to run out. And definitely going through that myself in life, I got some really good advice from don't know if you know Matt and Kim. When I released my first song, they told me, they were like, really enjoy this moment and be in it because you only get to experience it for the first time once.
Hmm.
And ever since they told me that, I was like, yeah. So definitely just the feeling of you're creating something, you're exhausting yourself and writing songs and throwing your heart out to the whole world to let them judge you and say whatever. But some people are going to like it, some people aren't. And all that really matters is that inside, that you believe in it and that I believe in what I'm doing, and that I know that it's always, it's always going to be ups and downs. It's really hard, like mentally, being an artist, and everything that you have to do is it's so personal, and
Hmm.
being so personal to the world can be really difficult at times. But it's what you believe in, it's your story, and if you have something to share with the world, you just got to do it and stand on that, because excuse me, it could really help someone. And I found, just hearing from people who listen to my music, that I'm just got to keep going and not let those things mess with me and keep me down.
For sure. And because you put much of yourself into music, is there something you do to balance and kind of keep yourself grounded outside of that?
And I have a lot of friends who are creatives as well in their own right, whether it's, photography or makeup or writing, anything else. I love to just hang out with people who do other things, that maybe they're not a musician, and we're still creative in a different way. And we
Hmm.
just find, we hang out and sit in the sun and just talk about things. And I just love having really important conversations with people who are creative, but not necessarily in the same way that I am, and hearing things that they go through. Just, I find those type of things really keep me grounded, just because sometimes you feel like you're in your own little world and it gets crazy sometimes. So definitely friends and talking. It's,
It's almost
yeah.
like a little mini therapy session outside of it, just listening to
Yeah.
people and kind of experiencing things.
Yeah. It's just like you hear someone say something, you're like, oh my God, I was thinking that exact same thing. And you just don't feel alone anymore. And sometimes those conversations inspire songs or inspire, other things like photo shoots and stuff. I've had conversations and I'm like, wow, I want to just like take this inspiration and I just want to make it a visual because it's so empowering or inspiring to me, and it's really amazing.
Yeah, I like, so I outside of interviews, I'm actually like a concert photographer also. So I'm always
Cool.
looking for different inspirations of things and trying to check out different people's work and
Yeah.
different thoughts like that too.
Yeah, it's good just to like get out of your own stuff sometimes and just throw yourself somewhere else and see what's going on and just put your mind away from all the things that you have to worry about normally on a day-to-day basis.
For sure. So you talked about how the storytelling in music around, home music scene is kind of a key point. What's your
Yeah.
overall thoughts on just the music scene that's around you? How is it growing? How's it doing?
Um, since I'm still relatively new to it, I've definitely found like my humans that feel like home to me in the industry. And I think that there's so much amazing talent and so many like incredible songwriters and I'm just like, oh my, like, why are you not famous? Like, I just wish that I had like a magic wand and I could just be like, everybody's gonna make money off of their music and everyone will know your name. Like,
Hmm.
it's just an incredible scene to be in, especially never really was in like the folk scene kind of, but being in Nova Scotia, we have those roots a little bit, and it's been like I've just been turned on to like fiddle music and stuff like that, which I don't think I ever would have really been like, hey, let me go on Spotify and like listen to some fiddles. But I've heard like so much amazing live music since I've been back, and it's just kind of like blowing my mind. And I feel like there's such an amazing community of humans around, even not just in a musical sense, just as like a literal community of people that if you need someone, there's always going to be someone there for you. And it's just been really heartwarming. And I feel really welcomed. I didn't feel like I didn't belong when I came
Hmm.
back. So I find that everyone is just trying to make it the best that they can. And support from each other, whether it's sharing someone's song on your story or throwing them a like or a comment online. Everyone is like in the same community and we're all just trying to make it. And just feels good to be around a bunch of people who are hustling, just try to get out there and make their art.
For sure. Is there any artists out there that people like that that you think people should be listening to? Like you want to give them a shout out right now?
Oh my gosh, I have so many. Willie Stratton for sure. Literally, when I saw him live for the first time, blew my brain. Every time I see him, I just like plays guitar behind his head. He's just like so nostalgic, like something that you've seen before, but you've never seen. And I
Hmm.
just, the style, the music, the band, everything with him is amazing. In the rap scene, Shawnee 22, Bassel, both of them have lyrically incredible. The songs that I've been hearing from them, and just their stage presence, their shows, like everything. I'm just so inspired by them and what they're doing and in their craft. And I just, oh my gosh, the confidence that they have is just so beautiful. And I just love seeing people who are hungry for it and they're humble, but they're confident. And wow, those
Hmm.
two for sure. Just like there's a handful of amazing artists in the city, and I see very big things happening for them. And I feel grateful to call them friends and be surrounded by them and have their advice when I need it. And just being able to be a fan of them and be at their shows is like top 10 for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to ask that because we always showcase her. So, we're talking and getting to know you, but maybe next time we get to know one of those.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, there you go.
Is there, well, so one of the fun questions I like to ask actually, what's something on your go-to playlist that people wouldn't expect you are listening to? Like a
Hmm.
guilty pleasure song almost.
I listen to like my playlist is like it's never genre specific. Like there's so many songs on there. Uh Definitely I've been listening to a lot of like Beastie Boys lately. No
Okay.
Sleep Till Brooklyn.
Mhm.
Uh I feel like because of my older brother, he's had a really strong punk influence in his life and kind of spending so much time with him, whatever was whatever he was playing when I was around, I just like it became songs that I love now and I'm like I see why you think this is so amazing. Like Sex
Hmm.
Pistol, God Save the Queen, like just songs like that that are so raw and it's like real.
Yeah.
I find just like that energy is crazy.
There's nothing like No Sleep Till Brooklyn too, and you're like just in that mood, that energy, that vibe. That's a song when
Yeah.
you put on, you're like, yes.
Yeah, it's like a little rager. My nephew, when he was 5, I remember I was like driving him to school. It was like, put on No Sleep Till Brooklyn. I like turned around. I was like, how do you even know that song? So he
Hmm.
put it on, and now I just like, there's just lots of good memories attached to that song too. And
Yeah, I
it's a
put
good one.
stuff like that on when I'm doing a solo drive if the wife's at home, and I
Yeah.
could just put some loud music on and windows
Mhm.
down and just have fun with it.
Yeah, exactly. I love songs that make you feel good.
Yeah. Now, I do usually ask a few fun questions, especially for people I'm doing a first time interview with, because I
Yeah.
do like to catch up with people later on. So we might have another conversation again. One of my favorite ones is, what's one thing you think should be asked in an interview scenario that's not asked enough?
Hmm. Good question. I just, I don't know. I'm really a big fan of like random questions. Just like if someone was like, "Oh, like what's your favorite donut?" I just feel like that's a good question. It's just like a little icebreaker or something funny. And like, I think what's your favorite donut, especially as a Canadian too, should just be like required. My
Yeah.
favorite donut is an apple fritter.
Okay. I like an apple
If that
fritter.
counts. I worked at Tim Hortons for like 3 years. Like apple fritter heated up in the microwave, tasty.
Hmm. I have two that I like. Like I'll do it. The Boston cream's always been my
Oh yeah,
go-to, but then I like the now I can't even think of the name of it. A honey cruller because it's nice and
oh,
light and just
yeah, it's like a
flaky kind of.
good flavor, and they like break open nice, and they're fluffy. I like
Hmm.
those.
So what I alternate between those two. They're my go-tos for sure.
That's sick. See, it's a good question. I love
It,
to know that now.
it is, and it's not. So I use this because I add questions to my repertoire every so often. I might intertwine something like that.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love it.
Hmm. What is something that you hope people take away from your music?
Um, just hope people feel something, whether it's one person that feels something from one song that I've made. I just hope that it hits someone and it means something in their life, and whether they're going through something bad and it helps them feel better. I just want people to feel like they're not alone. Even sometimes in like a song that's so fun, like Better Than You, it's still like, yeah, maybe you had like a terrible ex too, that, it's just like the connection of life experience and shared experience. Like that's just what I want to give people from my music, and just feel like I'm a human to them and not like I'm not reachable or something. Like I just want to be humans
Hmm.
with people who listen to my music and just give them something that they like.
Yeah. Is there any memorable fan interactions that you've had? Like someone come up to you like, "Oh, your music did this for me," or something like that?
Yeah, I've had a couple throughout the years. I definitely, when my trilogy slew was coming out, and those songs are super personal and really just like a story of my life. I found a lot of people really connected to the lyrics in survival mode. And I had one person who just reached out to me and they told me that song, like every time they're having a bad day, they listen to it. And one night they were just having a terrible time and they put it on and the words just saved them. And I was like, it just made me cry because I was like, I wrote that song at a time when I was feeling like that. So to know that somebody else who was feeling kind of in that place, I made something that they found comfort in when they were feeling bad. And they
Hmm.
had the strength to even tell me that and be vulnerable with me, just was so special. And I had a couple little interactions like that that really mean a lot to me, and I always remember them just because I know that when I was in a place like that, if I had something like that, or and was able to reach out to someone and get a meaningful response and them know how much they did for me, is just one of the biggest compliments. And it keeps you I that really keeps you grounded as a human being, and like life is real and our experiences are real.
Hmm. And there's definitely a lot of that out there, and it's nice to see
Yeah,
those interactions.
yeah,
Hmm.
it's really beautiful.
What's your thoughts on this summer's music schedule with everything going on? There's festivals. Like I'm actually starting a festival tomorrow. I'm covering myself, and There's a
No
whole
way.
bunch of things going on. Yeah.
I know there's a lot happening. I'm like just trying to get out of this funk because it's been cloudy for the last like 10 days and I saw a little peak of sun
Yeah.
yesterday. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm just waiting for it to like feel like summer and sink in. But I know like Jazz Festival in Halifax is going to be really exciting. Crescendo Festival, I'm actually playing that in August.
Oh, nice.
The first year for that, and it's like a Black music festival, and it celebrates Black music and empowerment and everything. So it feels really special to be making history this summer on August 5th with Crescendo Festival in its first year. I just think that's going to be something really cool. Definitely a highlight of my summer festival wise. Wish I was going to Cavendish.
Yeah.
Willie Stratton is playing at Cavendish, and I'm like, I wish I was going. But Chris Stapleton, I would love to see him. But yeah, I think there's some amazing stuff going on this summer. As long as the weather just the sun comes out and stays, I'll be
Hmm.
so happy. I'll be everywhere. Like you have a show, let me know I'm coming.
Yeah, I've actually got one of the teams to Jazz Fest cover out there, so that'll be fun. And if I can get them to other ones, I plan on doing that too. I think we have 4 festivals lined up this week, so should be
Wow.
pretty interesting.
Busy summer.
Yeah, the team grew a lot this year, and I'm making sure that everyone gets something under their
Yeah.
belts. That's for sure.
Yeah, it feels like it's going to be a good summer now that it's like COVID really slowed and it's like
Hmm.
things are back. Like we're outside all summer and it's going to be the best.
I almost find it's overwhelming right now. There's too much out. Like it's
Mm,
hard to stand out amongst someone else
yeah.
right now.
Oh my God. I know. It's literally
Hmm.
like whether it's a show or it's like you're on the internet like trying to post something and it's like, hey, I have a show. And then underneath you, it's like, oh my God, 5 other people have a show on the same day as me. Or like, hey, I have a song coming out. And it's like, oh, 15 other people have a song coming out too.
Hmm.
And you're trying to like support everyone and like promote yourself. And it's just really, it is overwhelming. But
There's a lot out there.
yeah.
What do you think it takes to stand out above someone else?
Uh I think it's really like my friends often come to me because they think I'm an online internet guru. um, but I really my like hot internet tip is just be yourself and don't promote stuff all the time. Like you can just promote stuff by just being a person on the internet, and people like to connect with what connects with them. So it's like if you're posting like a video of you eating an ice cream, somebody else eats ice cream too, and they just feel like connected to
Hmm.
that. Or you're writing something like if you're writing a caption, you got to say something that just connects with your followers or something that would make them want to, you know, and you just being weird is cool. I'm like the weirdest person in the world. um, just being weird, quirky, or unique, or whatever is you. Like you don't have to try and like fit in this box and conform to whatever society is saying that you need to be. Find that there other people are weird too. So it's just like if you can stand up and shout and show who you are, it gives other people a place to feel safe and comfortable with where they're going.
Yeah. Yeah, captions are my worst. I can't figure out captions properly. I just write something and hope it's
I hope it's good.
pretty much like I'm of that point where I didn't I'm old school and new school. Like I'm really good with the tech stuff, but I also
Yeah,
played outside all day until the street lights came on type of
yeah,
thing. And so
yeah.
I'm still wrapping my head around some of the new TikTok and all that.
Uh, I know TikTok is a hard one, really
Yeah.
hard one. Definitely, it's just hard to like cut through the noise, I guess. And no matter like how good your content is or whatever, sometimes it's just the algorithm and you're not getting seen and you're like, oh, all my hard work for nothing. And it can be really frustrating. But consistency, just keep at it and just being yourself and being honest with whatever. Like don't try and replicate something else that you've seen. Just be yourself is
Hmm.
my biggest thing. People want to see your personality rather than see it just a promotion. It's like if I can say something funny and make someone laugh, they're connecting with that more than me being like, hey, go listen to my new song, click this link. So if you mix those things together, it works pretty well.
Hmm. I mean, that's pretty much all I have written down, but I do have one final question, which actually ties nicely into being yourself and everything. And what
Well,
motivates you to keep doing music and keep strolling down this path that you're on?
My like number one thing that motivates me in life is just people who have told me no, or people who said I couldn't do things. And I know that's like, maybe it's like petty, but it's just like, if I gave up, then all of those people are gonna win. And like I just want to be the winner of and like control this narrative. Like you said I couldn't do it, watch me figure out how I'm gonna do it. And just
Mm-hmm.
those things really keep me going. I had literally, funny little story. I had a teacher in junior high, and I tried out for a talent show, and I was like deathly scared of singing in front of people. And I was like, okay, I'm in junior high, like new school, I'm gonna try out for the talent show or whatever. And I did. And the teacher that was judging the auditions was like, no, you're not good enough. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never gonna sing in front of anyone again. And then the next year when I went to high school, I just said, I don't care. And then I just pretended like no one knew that I was scared, and I did it. And now every year I send that teacher an email letting him know what I'm up to. And like, I was good enough. You just
Mm-hmm.
didn't see it back then.
Yeah.
So yeah, just that, like literally people who don't believe in me, it's like, I'm going to make you believe in me because you're going to see me do the thing. But then also all of the people who support me, those are the people, that's the reason why I'm here, is because of the people who do believe in me and do support me and care about me and love me. And obviously those people keep me going every single day. But
I mean, that's pretty good. It's what motivates you, and why not doing it?
yeah, I know it's like a little bit weird, but it's just like, it's like when someone tells you don't do something, you're like, I want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that is what's in my brain all the time. It's like, you can't do this. Okay, well, I'm going to like see you in 3 weeks when I put out a song and it does
Yeah.
well.
I hate being told what to do or what not to do. And it's like, if I want to do it, I'm gonna do it.
Exactly. I'm like all against like rebelling against whatever people are saying that you can't do. Think that if you believe in something and you believe in it enough, no matter what anybody tells you, no matter what it is, you can do it and you can find a way. And that's just my older brother, definitely he ingrained that in my brain very early. It was like, you don't need to wait for anyone else. It's DIY. Do it yourself. Do everything yourself. And like, if no one else wants to do it with you, you just gotta figure it out. Do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's a fault for me. My wife hates how stubborn I can be, but
That's me too. I'm so stubborn with
yeah.
every. I just like get stuck in a way, and I'm like, it's happening the way that I'm gonna make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just do something else. No.
Well, that's all I have written down here. Is there any kind of final words of wisdom you'd like to leave to everyone?
Words of wisdom. I always think just have fun with life and whatever it is. If you're an artist or if you like want to be a doctor, like whatever it is in life that you want to do, be the best at whatever it is. Like give everything 110%. Don't half whatever you're doing, because the second that you give up or do a little bit less than you think that you can, someone else, and in today, someone else is ready to like try and come in and take your spot. So you've got to just, if you believe in yourself, don't let a negative thought or a doubt or someone being negative towards you bust all the things that you worked for down, because it's going to happen. And usually in the moment where you feel it the least, you got to just keep pushing, because the next moment is where that amazing thing is going to happen. So I just think whatever it is, have fun with it, work really hard, and just put your heart into things and do what you love. And don't spend your life not doing things that you love, because it's a pretty miserable life. Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know. I would rather make music for the rest of my life and like make $0, but I love it so much that it's like not even that for me, you know? It's just, it makes me happy. It makes me feel good. And it makes other people around me feel good too. And just feels amazing. So yeah, just have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Never give up. No, it's cliche, but just don't give up. Keep holding on. Those hits are coming. Everything's going to be amazing. And some days are bad, but, and also to any human, I am a human on the internet. And if you ever need somebody to reach out to, I answer all my DMs and I'm always a safe space. So you ever have
Well,
those feelings, hit me up.
I think that's pretty good words to live by for sure.
I mean, what else can you do? Life is life, and we just got to keep living.
Mm-hmm. Well, that it's been great getting to know you, getting to learn a little bit more about you. We're going to make sure we link your socials or your websites whatever I can find that works, we're gonna put it in the
Oh,
video so people can get a
I got
little
it all.
more. Yeah, we'll make it happen. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I hope we have a chance to talk again sometime.
Yeah, I'm sure that we will. This has been really nice.
I
Really
appreciate
nice
that.
change of pace. Really great. Thank you so much for having me on.
No problem. I gotta find my end button now. Here we go. All right. You enjoy your day.